Olsen, I don't think it's quite done yet, Scott, is it?
No done yet, but nearly there. Daniel were led to believe he was having a medical and putting the kind of finishing touches to the paperwork and that today. So I would expect some kind of announcement in the next kind of 24, 48 hours. Who knows? The Rangers might announce it tomorrow. Obviously, they play tomorrow night, but the club might see that as a kind of ideal opportunity to announce it tomorrow, and then they could unveil him to the crowd or whatever. Listen, if he's signed already and it's early tomorrow, I don't know if he would even make the game, maybe make the bench. But it looks as if it's just a bit over the line. And as we said the other night when it was mooted, if he hits top form, as one of the callers said there, then he's going to be a top player for Rangers. He should be a top player, because you look at his profile, look at his kind of recent history. Hasn't quite worked out for him at Wolfsburg, obviously, but got a massive move there, 12 million quid. And listening to Danny Rowe at the press conference today, he clearly thinks that he's the guy that can kind of reignite Skov Olsen's career and get the best out of him again. And if he does, then Rangers have got a top player in their hands.
I mean, Mick, that's the type of signing Celtic should really be going after, you'd have thought. I'm oversimplifying it, right? If I'm Celtic and Rangers, I'd be looking at, right, who can I afford in the Denmark team, the Sweden team, the Bulgaria team? There's a guy with 40 caps for Denmark we can get on loan and then buy him. He cost 12 million quid 12 months ago. All right, it's a bit of a dodgy year, but his career's been going up the way since then. I mean, what a chance. And that's the ideal profile player. He's a 6'1" winger. Who's still only 26 as well.
26, he's got 40 caps for Denmark. I mean, what more can you... In terms of profile, listen, it's up to the boy now. I mean, he's not the best of years. So it's up to him. But what an opportunity for him. But what a capture for Rangers. That's the kind of signings that these clubs should be making. So, I mean, I think he has got... I mean, somebody's saying he's the best player in Scotland. Listen, that remains to be seen, right? We need to wait and see. He's not... I don't think the Denmark team is a vintage Denmark team right now. But he's got 40 caps for his country. He's played at a decent level. Good age, good experience. I say he's a big lump of a boy. It just looks like a good profile of a top signing, a really ambitious signing. And it's a club. Rangers are a club that can smell the Champions League. I mean, it's dangling in front of them right now, and they've decided, you know what, this is probably came maybe even before we thought it was going to come in terms of opportunity, and they're making the bet. I think they're making the most of it, going for it this year to get that opportunity. I still think they did a striker. I don't use to it, Scott. I think a striker is a missing piece as well. So I think another striker is still the last piece of the jigsaw for them. I don't know what you reckon. I think they definitely need a striker, Mick, no doubt about it. And I think they will be in for a striker before the end of the window. They've obviously got three there now, and Sharmiti, Majovski and Danilo. I think they'll try and move Danilo on in this window if they can, whether that be in loan or a permanent. But they'll definitely want another goal scorer, because they're not scoring enough goals.
Yeah,
up the top end. I think they might look at getting another centre back in, Daniel. Even if it's just as cover. Obviously, Cornelius is injured. Nasser Giga has been pretty poor, let's be honest, since he's been here on loan for Wolves. Suter and Fernandez are doing really well at the minute. Obviously, Cornelius is on his way back for injury. They might look at cover there as well. And I think, and I wouldn't have said this a week or so ago, but listening to Danny Rowe today, I think we'll definitely try and get in for another midfielder as well, just because of Connor Barron's injury. Obviously, they've brought Chukwuani in, who could feature tomorrow night. So you think of him, Rask and Diomande as your kind of proper central midfielders. But I think if Barron was fit, Danny Rowe would have been happy with those four going forward. But with Barron's injury, and obviously it's a fairly serious one, he's going about for at least 2 months, I think, then I think they probably want another central midfielder. They've been linked with a couple already. And I think if they can do a deal for another centre mid, then they'll go and do it. Just in terms of Skov Olsen, I mean, Mick's right, talking about opportunity. No, let's be honest, a guy Skov Olsen's calibre, Rangers are only really getting this guy because he's had a tough year in Germany. But as Mick says, it's about pouncing on that opportunity. It's about seeing that.
Exactly.
About seeing that opportunity and going and taking it. And Rangers obviously think if they can get him in and get him going again, and if they can get him back to his top level, which I think Danny Rowe believes they can, then they could have a real top player in their hands. And as we discussed the other night that they've already agreed with Wolfsburg a fee. I believe it's in the region of about £8 million, just under £8 million, to get him on a permanent if he does well, if he impresses. So all in all, it looks like on paper anyway. He's obviously got to come and prove himself, but on paper it looks like a great deal for him.
In the comments, the SNP Goon Platoon says Olsen can cross the ball with both feet in either wing. Not had the option at Rangers for a long time. Hopefully he does the business. Your low him up, it says Rangers doing great business. Finally looking like contenders.